Peace. I come in the righteous name of Lord Supreme. Wanted to build with you real quick and briefly on this little journey that I'm going on. You know what I'm saying? On today's Supreme Mathematics. When we're dealing with today's Supreme Mathematics, we're dealing with knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge and wisdom, keeping it simple, is knowing it and speaking it. You feel what I'm saying? Researching, evaluating, assessing, analyzing. You know what I'm saying? Examining, being analytical, using critical thinking in your approach, and then coming to a judgment call, or using proper discernment on what you started learning. So when we're dealing with today's math, we're dealing with it with what? Knowledge and wisdom. With the knowledge and wisdom that the original man started when the planet was first founded. When you deal with the planet, you're dealing with a plane of thought. Feel what I'm saying? That the plane of thought, what? Is that mental existence. The intangible intelligence was made physical. You know what I'm saying? So also when you look at 12, there's 12 hours in a day, 12 hours in a night. And you add 12 and 12 together, what? You get 24, 24th degree, and a 1 to 40 adds, what was his idea of making devil? It was predicted him that he would make a devil 8,400 years before he was born. So he was born with a determined idea to make people rule for 6,000 years. So he already had a what? He already planted it in his mind that he had a determined idea. So when we're dealing with knowledge and wisdom, the determined idea was already in existence. It just had to be manifested in the physical form of what you see, or as a conduit, or as a vessel being used, the original man. So also when we're dealing with today's degree, and the 1 in 36, it says, yes, that made him other than his own self. What will make you other than your own self? Conforming and being of this world. Why is that? Well, if you look at Romans 12:2, right? It says, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You feel what I'm saying? Doing things in good and in perfecting in the will of God. So when we're dealing with what today's math is knowledge and wisdom, we could teach you knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge and wisdom also means to be civilized. The civilization part is the understanding. So when we're dealing with ours, the degree to get in 1 to 40, it says, tell us why the devil does not teach that. Some people teach that. I have, the devil does not teach that. It says because he desires to make slaves out of all he can so he can rob them and live in luxury. And then when he robs you and he lives in his luxury, that means that you have to conform to his ways to get your shit back. In order for you to get back that luxury. But it's not always physical luxury. It's not monetary. It's psychological and mental and emotional. You feel what I'm saying? What might be your luxury? Let's say, for instance, you have children, right? Your children might be your luxury. You know what I'm saying? The reason why they might be your luxury, and I ain't saying this as a monetary instance. I'm saying this in regards to, bringing the greatest gift in your life. You know what I'm saying? Having the greatest present in your life. And let's just say, for instance, you're having a hard time civilizing your babies. You know what I'm saying? However, what ends up happening is, you got to teach them how to be civilized in this world. Otherwise, the devil is going to rob you and live in luxury. In other words, he's taking your children from you. He's subjecting them and conforming them to the streets. So this is why we say that understanding comes in his own good time. Because as your children begin to get older and mature, that's what understanding is about. Understanding is about maturity. So when we're dealing with the science of what knowledge and wisdom, we're teaching them how to be civilized in the society that we live in. Because you know why? The society of men or group of men and women are not together for a common cause. Some are stuck. When you look at today's math, right, half of 12 is 6. When you look at anything in regards to life, right, you could be in 6 but not of 6. In other words, you don't have to subject yourself to the wiles of the world. You don't have to subject yourself to the ways and actions of how people do things in life. In other words, is everybody else fucking selling drugs? You selling drugs? No. That's being of six. That's being in six, being stuck in six. But being of six, meaning that I'm living my life, but I'm not conforming or reforming my ways to fit other people's convenience. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what happens when this makes you other than yourself. What makes you other than yourself is when you conform to the ways of the world. It says, be ye not conformed, but be ye transformed, the renewing of your mind. So when you see brothers out here that were once doing the good thing with their life, now they out here on drugs, or they out here now on the block selling drugs or doing it or being an addict, they was what? Conformed to the world. The devil robbed them and live in luxury, because if you take it to the knowledge degree and a 1 to 40, part of self, the knowledge degree and a 1 to 14, it says, why isn't the devil settled on the best part of the planet Earth? Or why is he? Because people are allowing him to live. You are giving the devil more energy than he deserves. You got to remember one thing, right? And this is just an actual fact. I don't want nobody to be sitting up here acting like this ain't nothing true. The devil's always doing his job every motherfucking day. It doesn't matter whether or not he's doing it subjectively, objectively, up close, far away. He's still doing his job. This is why we got to teach knowledge wisdom to all human families of the planet Earth in order for them to be civilized. Sometimes we have a hard time civilizing the 85%. Why is that? Because maybe you haven't civilized the people that's in your immediate circle first. You know what I'm saying? We take this knowledge and we add on. You feel what I'm saying? The knowledge that was given to us is helping us better experience life in a more proficient and efficient way. We're not just walking around here just existing. We have a reason why we're living, and our purpose and our plan and the direction. Feel what I'm saying? Knowledge and wisdom will take you but so far. Understanding to show you where you at. True facts. So like I said, man, you know, when we're dealing with today's math, which is knowledge wisdom, that's 12. You feel what I'm saying? What that is you got to know and understand what? Oh shit, where you stand at? You got to know and understand where you stand at. You got to know where you going. You got to know what you doing. You got to know how to do it. You feel what I'm saying? Knowledge is to know. When you're dealing with wisdom, it's to know how. And then when you're dealing with understanding, you're dealing with knowing how and then knowing why. You see how all that goes and flows? See, today, if I wanted to be real, like, you know, we got this news channel 12 spot out here, and they have a phrase that says, know before you go. And you got to know where you headed at. Because if you don't know where you headed at, how you going to know where you're going? If you can't see in front of you, if you don't have understanding. Like I said, understanding comes in what? Time. And time is true our master equality. That means that you have to master all things that's in your circumference and in your circle. Because you are the master of your equality. You are the master of how you do everything. You feel what I'm saying? Equality is the first letter of equality is E. That means everything. Equality means to be equal in everything. So when we're dealing with today's degree in a 1, the 40 says, tell us why the devil does not teach that. Because he is not here to show you what? Social equality. He's afraid. See, once you learn about the devil, you could run him from among us. He's only advocating for his social equality, which is actually social inequality, because he's not about bringing forth balance. He's about imbalance and imperfection and chaos and confusion and destruction. So when we look at these lessons today, we ask ourselves, how does this apply to me? I always apply this to myself every single day and in every single way. You know what I'm saying? This is my actual first day of my understanding the law of God year. You know what I'm saying? My birthday was my anniversary, which is a past day, knowledge day. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just blessed to be alive, be breathing. I'm glad to make it another mile on my journey. You know what I'm saying? I don't take no day for granted. I always stay in tune with my math. I stay in tune with my alphabet. I stay in tune with my 120. You feel what I'm saying? My math, my alphabet, my keys to life. You know what I'm saying? My 120 helps me explain the things that's happening in life and how the supreme mathematics and the math is going to help me break it down and come up to a conclusion to be able to what? Understand how things are going within that life or within that dimension or within that realm or within that world or that cipher that you're dealing with. You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, when you look at the word civilized, the first letter is C. C means to understand. See, when you begin to see how people are living their lives and how things are going, you'll be able to understand how to what? Teach. Because it says civilized means to teach knowledge and wisdom to all human families. So also there's an obligation there. You feel what I'm saying? Your obligation is to teach those that don't know what they need to know in order for them to get on with their lives properly, effectively, and productively. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I wanted to bring forth as well and take the knowledge and make it born is that, this pandemic that we are in still, we are now more subjected to a lot of things that are happening around us. Now, we have to be more careful and more cautious on how we're going about doing things now. Now, also, what I want to address is the simple fact that us as a lost 5% nation, we got to sit here and stick together and understand the script. We got to know and understand what we got to do and understand what it needs to be done. That is taking it back to the original state of existence, how we was actually teaching on the primary platform, which is what? The streets. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that this platform that we're on, we can't teach. It's just not the actual and proper way of addressing the situation when it needs to be done in sound or in person. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we have to go to the primary platform of teaching. And that also requires us to what? Be subjected to one another as brothers and sisters. We need to be around people that got the history of a law, got the history of the nation, and we got to be out here teaching this shit right and exact. And we don't have to always include the history of a law in our conversation with the 85%, but we have to understand that we have to be implementing it in a way where they understand what's going on and they know how to deal with it, and they see the understanding in what we're saying and what we're talking about and what we're also presenting. So like I said, man, our duty and responsibility now, we don't care what the devil's not teaching. We know what we need to be teaching. You know what I mean? We shouldn't give a fuck about what the devil's doing, because the devil's gonna do what he do regardless to whom or what. You feel what I'm saying? He went savage and lived into the caves. We made him walk every step of the way, 2,200 miles. Dealing with the knowledge of teaching us, we gotta be more into the streets, and we gotta get back into the essence of what we gotta get back into the livelihood of what dealing with and talking to our brothers and building with our brothers accordingly. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'll build with you guys soon. Appreciate you guys that was on the live. For those that don't know, I'll be keeping this post up for a little while. Feel free to add on, inbox. You already know my name, Lord Supreme, Wise Mind of Law. Scientific Intelligence on Facebook. Lord Supreme 72 on Snapchat. Scientific Intel on Twitter. I'm more on Twitter than anything, you know what I'm saying? I usually do my little posts on Twitter and then I'll probably come to Facebook, but more than likely I'm more on Twitter than anything. So I did a introductory live thread on there, so for brothers and sisters that are on Twitter as well, state your name, where you from, how long you got knowledge, and things of that nature, so we can get the understanding and knowing each other better. You feel what I'm saying? This Facebook world and this social media platform got us so objective with each other that we're not even subjected as far as building with each other in sound. But I'll tell you one thing, I'll be willing to make a trip or two to come build any of y'all guys. So let me know. Alright? I'll build you guys in the near future. Keep teaching, keep doing what you're doing. And whatever the devil ain't doing, which is teaching, that's what you should be doing. Peace.